mention what you have to say. So the first question is by @MarthaDiegos, and she was wondering if being a woman in the industry has made your job challenging.
Yes and no. I guess I'll answer this one first if you don't mind. Especially being a young woman in the industry, that's kind of the thing that gets brought up the most when people are speaking with me about being a funeral director. And I think it definitely has helped me, but has also hurt me in ways. Right now I'm working for my family-run funeral home, so it's great. So it's not like I had any discrimination in the hiring process because, you know, it's family. But it definitely sometimes will hurt with the families that I serve when they walk into the funeral home. I'm all of 5'2", you know, like 120 pounds or so. So when people see me, I look like I'm 16. I mean, I do. I know I do. So when people walk into the funeral home, their first reactions are, "Hey, is your dad here?" Or, you know, some guy here to talk to us, and I have to be like, "No, I'm going to be the funeral director helping you today." So I think at first reaction, being a woman kind of hurts me. But as I sit down with families and as I talk with them and as I help them through the process of everything, I think that being a woman kind of helps because, and Caitlin, maybe you can agree with this too, people look at you as almost you're like non-threatening. You're not a scary, you know, old-fashioned mortician that people kind of visualize when they walk into a funeral home. And I think that really brings a lot of comfort to the families that at least I serve. And I think, you know, once we get past the initial meeting part, being a woman actually helps me personally. So.
They said, "Where's your dad?"
Oh, I get that all the time.
Oh, and I know
well, my cousin who owns the funeral home, he's a little bit older than me, and he actually has like 2 younger girls who are like in their teenage years. So theoretically, if you put them next to me, I mean, we look more similar than I do with him. So people sometimes think that like I'm the daughter, I'm no one, but no, I'm the funeral director.
I'm a grown woman. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you in the help hurts department. I think, and this is sort of, it's funny that you mentioned you being 5'2". I'm 6'1", and that actually, I mean, it's totally unfair, but that totally helps me, I think, because I'm huge. I'm, you know, Godzilla going through Tokyo as far as most women are concerned. So I have a commanding presence, and that helps me. And it's terrible and that's not terrible that it helps me, but it's a shame that we view women that way. That it, you know, that there's some sort of ranking based on how old you are, how tall you are, as to how competent you are. That's ridiculous, but that has helped me. And I agree that when we get in with families, I think they're less likely to believe I'm trying to sell them something or trying to get something over on them. And also, I think just as an advocate and as a public advocate for the past couple of years, being a woman has helped me because people are interested. The media is interested. They're like, "I didn't expect you to have a vagina." Sorry, I don't know if I can say vagina on Qeepr chat, but I didn't expect that, and that makes you a more interesting advocate to cover. And as somebody who is trying to get the message out there, that is helpful, even if it's based in some weird societal stereotypes.
Right. And what about within the industry, just not to go off on a tangent, but within the industry, I feel like it could be a bit of a boys' club. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
Whenever I go to funeral director meetings, I swear if there are 5 ladies in the room,
yes,
all guys. I like count the girls. I'm like 1, 2, 3. Okay. No, but especially in the Western New York area, it's definitely male dominated. It really is. So.
That's super, because again, this is another, I think, California, you know, New York difference is that when I went to mortuary school, it was mainly all women. You could count the guys on one hand. It was mostly women. I know a lot of women that I work with. Not as many women in ownership positions and management positions as there should be, but hopefully the more women who come out of mortuary school or get into the industry and are working in the trenches, the more that will say, "I want my own funeral home. I want to be in a management position. I don't want to be the receptionist. I don't want to be the embalmer behind the scenes. I want to be in charge."
Yeah, and that's one thing actually that I can kind of agree with the whole mortuary school thing. When I went to mortuary school, I graduated in 2010, and my classes were definitely more female dominated, but I went to mortuary school right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So I had a lot of people from Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, you know, that whole area. We really didn't have a lot of people from New York, believe it or not, at least my area of New York. So I don't know if it's different wherever you go, but definitely in school, I definitely see a huge trend of females going to mortuary school.
Well, I have two, oh, sorry, can I keep going on this? I just want to say really quickly, I have two pictures on my fridge. One is the class picture of Cyprus College of Mortuary Science when I went from like 1977 or something, and it's all white men and like 2 token women.
Oh, wow.
And then the one from when I graduated is mostly women and a ton of people of color. So it's just been this like huge demographic and gender shift in even just the last 30 years or so.
That's great. Looking up. That's awesome. Thank you guys for those answers.